Good afternoon. We're in Kinston, North Carolina today, and we've already been in Goldsboro, where I was with Mayor Chuck Allen. Here I'm with Mayor B.J. Murphy, both good friends, and I just want to commend this incredible teamwork that we've had in both Goldsboro and in Lenoir. It's been outstanding teamwork. All I'm hearing is praise about the cooperation between the city and county, the churches, the Salvation Armies, the Red Cross, the National Guard. If we're going to continue to survive this tremendous hurricane, we're going to work together as a team. And that's what's so unique about this. I have my sunglasses on. It's a beautiful day. It's almost hot. And we're in the midst of a hurricane in North Carolina. It has not ended, even though the hurricane dissipated many days ago over the Atlantic Ocean. We're still feeling the Hurricane Matthew. And our biggest concern right now is keeping people out of the water. In fact, we just postponed a trip that I was going to take in a Humvee across the water because they say it's too dangerous. And that's the last thing I want anyone to see, is someone going through the water when we've had 19 people drown in water during the past 8 to 9 days. 19 people have drowned. So our goal together, right, is to save any lives and to make sure people don't put their own lives in jeopardy or put these incredible first responders' lives in jeopardy. The big issue for us is going to be taking care of infrastructure, blocking the bridges where people should not be going over at this point in time, and then doing a quick evaluation of the streets and roads and trying to get them fixed as quick as possible. The other issues will be power and electricity. We also are praying that the water doesn't go high enough in any of the areas along the Tar River or the Neuse River where it impacts water and sewage and water like it's done in Lumberton. We've got our fingers crossed. I think we look pretty good there, right, Mayor? And then the other issue is, the major issue is the people who are displaced due to this floods. And sadly, in every county, whether it be Wilson or Lenoir or any other county, Robinson County, Sampson County, the people being impacted by this flood the most are the poor. And when they're displaced, they have nothing. They have nothing to go to. And so our major goal is to help those who are so poor, where they've lost everything. They've lost all their belongings. Some have even lost their pets. And get them into appropriate shelter. And then our long-term goal is to get them out of the shelters and get them into some hotels or housing, and then into permanent FEMA facilities. So that will be our next goal in the coming days and weeks, I might add. The recovery from this will not happen tomorrow. It will be weeks, months, and for some people even a year. That's how big this hurricane has been. So we're going to do it together as a team. I've never seen such teamwork and resilience and compassion of people in Goldsboro and Kinston today. And that's what's going to take, especially during the next 72 hours. The weather, the storm surge has changed here. It's coming a bit earlier. It's coming Friday and not Saturday morning, but they're ready. They're ready. And with that, I'm going to introduce Mayor B.J. Murphy, a very good friend and a great mayor. I was just here not too long ago. We're kicking off the baseball park, right? Right. And so come on in here, Mayor, and appreciate any comments or anyone else who would like to make any comments.
Well, first off, we just want to say thank you to Governor McCrory for continuing to heed the call of warning to all of our residents in eastern North Carolina that this storm was coming and the impending flood is coming. I can't say enough good things about the professionals and teamwork we've got with Lenoir County, the state of North Carolina, the city of Kinston. Really thankful for that. We were talking earlier with a group of citizens, and we said we've got so much advance warning, Governor, that the loss of one life moving forward is unacceptable. And I think we've got an agreement with everyone behind us and everyone in the community. So we've been knocking on doors, heeding the call of getting people out.
The mayor's been knocking on doors himself.
Yes, and we don't want a single person lost. We don't want a single person. I love that fact we got National Guard here, Coast Guard around, but we don't want to have to use them. So we're thankful they're here, but we want to make sure everybody gets out, because over the next 48 hours, we're going to see a lot more waters rising. So thank you, Governor.
Thank you. I do want to let you know the latest updates here. We've had 20 total fatalities, sadly, and 19 of them have been due to drowning. In fact, one of them was coming back home from a football game where we rescued 3 individuals, but we couldn't rescue the other, and they were literally coming back from the college football game on Saturday, which maybe is a lesson learned there. At a point in time, we were trying to get people to stay off the roads. Very, very sad. The most recent ones, we found a body in Lenore where we lost someone who was drowned, swept off while they were walking. And the other one was in Wayne County in a car. Very sad situation. Wayne and Lenore counties are approved for individual and public federal assistance, and that's going to be extremely individual, especially to lower income people who are being impacted by this storm. In Wayne County right now we have 4 shelters with 445 occupants. They expect that to increase over the night in Wayne County. In Lenore County we have 2 shelters with 205 occupants, and I assume you expect that to increase over the night. And we're helping there. 150 National Guard troops here in Lenore County. We want to do everything we can to help them, especially to protect the buildings, and 50 Highway Patrol troopers. I want to thank both Pepsi and Coke. Pepsi and Coke are working together. That's good. Working with the Beverage Association to deliver water and supplies. US 70 closed last night. NC 55 and 258 are closed, and the Noose Road will crest here late Friday. The good news in Goldsboro is the river is already receding, but as you saw when I was there, it was heartbreaking to see people's homes still underwater, as we saw in Lumberton and Pembroke. We saw a lot of businesses underwater, so a lot of people's lives are being impacted by this. Again, we're going to make some announcements soon about unemployment benefits and revising some of our state laws so people can get unemployment benefits quicker in those areas that are impacted by this. And I'll tell you, the saddest thing I've seen today is where you have caskets coming out of graveyards right now. It was happening in Goldsboro, and to see our first responders deal with a very, very emotional situation where you have a casket floating in the water, it can't get tougher than that. Even those who have passed are not free from the impacts of Hurricane Matthew. So we've also continued to deal with some environmental issues. We have some spills of diesel fuel in Lumberton. We're still dealing with agricultural waste at this point in time, especially chickens, where we've lost a lot of chickens, and we're dealing with them and having great cooperation with local city waste dumps and that are lined to make sure no one's harmed by the waste of that. The main issue, as I could close to this, is stay away from the water, not only to save your life, but don't even put your hand or feet in it, because this water is most likely not safe to touch. There's a lot of pollution most likely in this, having it gone over the streets, so there's petroleum, and there could be farm chemicals also in this water. So this is not good water. And so anytime any of our first responders see anyone even touching the water, wash your hands immediately, but don't touch the water. And you shouldn't be that close to the water anyway. We don't want it to sweep you away. So with that, we'd be glad to take any questions. I've got the experts here, and be glad to help you.
And if y'all will just identify your name and your organization you're with.
By the way, we're also flooding in Craven tonight, Vanceboro, Cove City, Dover, and Fort Barnwell. So we expect flooding tonight, and that's going to be in the dead of night, so that's going to be even more dangerous. Yes, sir.
Governor Steve Sprague, CBS North Carolina.
Yes, Steve.
Do you anticipate the General Assembly will come back for a special session to help deal with some of the issues involving the storm?
Right now, that's not on our list of concerns. We've got sufficient money for a pretty long period of time. In fact, we think we have sufficient money with the federal money coming in probably till January, February. And if there is a need, I will call them immediately. I will not hesitate. But right now, there is not that immediate need. And frankly, we need to take the politics out of this.
Tim from ABC 11.
Yes, sir.
A lot of small mom and pop businesses have been asking me, is there anything that the state can do to help them? And I don't know what to tell them.
No, what some of the money that we're asking, the individual assistance and business assistance may be able to help them out. And that's why we've asked that these 2 counties be allowed to get federal assistance. So businesses and individual homeowners will be provided some assistance and also grants and loans. But it's going to be tough. I mean, a lot of businesses are having to shut down. I mean, I saw both in Kinston and Goldsboro right now, a lot of businesses, you saw that driving, are underwater right now. So not only they're losing money, but employees aren't getting the paychecks. That's why it's going to be our goal once the water recedes to get these roads fixed as quick as possible. The roads that many of you saw in Fayetteville just 4 days ago, the one major bridge, and a business owner didn't have 14 employees can't work there. We're fixing that right now. But other bridges are going to be tougher. It's going to take a long time because we have to do structural analysis and review, and it's hard to determine how much the water has caused damage. This is not going to be an overnight fix. I cannot tell you that more. Yes, ma'am.
Governor Hernandez from the Washington Post. My colleague and I have been up and down the Neuse River talking to folks who are comparing this to Floyd, but saying this is the worst they've ever seen. These catastrophes are wiping out entire towns, thinking Seven Springs, North Carolina.
Yes.
How do you explain to people why these catastrophes seem to be getting worse and worse?
Well, we have not had a hurricane in North Carolina for years, actually. So we've actually been free from hurricanes for a fairly long period of time. So this is the first hurricane North Carolina's had, but this was an inland flood, and it went against all the projections. That hurricane was supposed to go out in the ocean in Charleston, and sadly the model was wrong. It came inland, and what happened was all the rain came to Fayetteville, to Raleigh, and to Johnson County. This is the Raleigh rain coming down the rivers to be disposed out in the ocean and into the Pamlico Sound. So my major concern right now is saving lives and getting people in their houses. And
Environmentally, you don't think that they're...
oh, we have some environmental issues right now in the water that are a great concern of mine, and with both animals, livestock, water sewage in Lumberton, water sewage issue right now. We have a plant underwater right now. Any other questions?
I was told this morning that there may have been possibly a death involved with Hurricane Matthew here in LaGrange. Wanted to see if that was true or...
I think we've had one death in this
It
county.
happened this morning is what I was
Oh,
told.
I'm not aware of that. Have there any been loss of life this morning here?
We've had, we have one just recently, a few hours ago, that some of my colleagues are looking at, and we had one, I believe it was yesterday. A man was riding a horse, and from what I understand, he stepped in the hole, fell off, got crushed, drowned.
We may have some other announcements to make. Very sad. And we are averaging 2 a day, and it looks like we may have another 2 based upon preliminary announcements. A man apparently fell off a horse and drowned. This is how dangerous this water is. In Goldsboro, we saw a man sitting in his truck and refusing to get out of the cab in high water. Y'all probably didn't notice that, but a man's been in a cab since 4 o'clock this morning. He doesn't want to leave his cab. It's his life. And he's sitting there in very high water refusing to leave. And that's his decision. The good news is the water is receding there, but I'm worried about him. But I also admire his protecting his livelihood. That's the fine balance we have. It's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to see a man sitting in his tractor trailer going, I'm not leaving it. He got in at 4 o'clock this morning by a boat, and they've tried to take him out, and he says, I'm not leaving. That's his livelihood. It's very, very difficult.
Governor, Stitcher with WITN. For those in Craven County, I know they've been kind of dry lately. This is mentioned it's coming down. Is there anything you would say to residents in that area?
Yeah, the water's coming. Stay out of the water. And listen to the emergency personnel in Craven County. The good news is, in comparison to Hurricane Floyd, we have models that can tell the areas that are going to be flooded. In '99 with Hurricane Floyd, you probably would have evacuated the whole city not knowing what was going to happen. Now, we knew this area was going to flood. And, I was just down the street, 5 days ago?
That's right.
I was here 5 days ago before we knew this area was going to flood at Noose, one of my favorite stores. And I just talked to the owner, and his business is going to be, they're losing business, plus they've cleared all the merchandise out of the first floor, and they're just praying, he and his wife. That's her livelihood. And that's less than what?
It's a block away.
Block away. One of the best stores in North Carolina. And there's an ice cream store right next door to it. And I know this area extremely well. So I was there just 5 days ago. No one would have ever imagined this.
Governor, you've been going around the clock. How are you holding up being a North Carolinian yourself?
It's been emotional and it's been stressful. We haven't got a lot of sleep, but I know a lot of people who've gotten less sleep than me during this time. But seeing the teamwork behind me keeps me awake, and I want to thank we've got 150 people in Raleigh right now who have not slept very few hours. So that's a concern of mine. The fatigue of the guard who's out there right now, the fatigue of people in homeless shelter, in the shelters. their fatigue is going to start happening during the next 3 or 4 days, and that's what worries me. They're going to be fatigued and emotional and distraught, and right now they're living on adrenaline, and that's what worries me. And also I'm worried for my emergency operations people because they literally have gotten very little sleep. My sleep's irrelevant at that point in time. So I got a little cot to sleep in the, I got a cot in the governor has an office in the Emergency Operations Center. Sadly, I've had to use it too much during the past 4 years. But we've got a great team. Mike Sprayberry and his team have done a great job. And listen, every half hour, I just got a phone, we're putting out fires. We'll learn out about a new neighborhood that's underwater, and we don't have people there. So the communications is vital at this point in time. If there's going to be a problem, Mayor and County Commission, it's usually a breakdown in the communication. And we got to have strong command and control, and right now we have strong command and control in almost all the counties and also in Raleigh. So I'm very, very proud of that command and control. Thank y'all, and God bless y'all very much.
Thank you.